I wonder how many of you can relate to this. My dad made it very clear that my value hinged on two things: the size of my bust line and the cooperative demeanor that I could assume around men. Like, he called it a good attitude. And he would tell me that I was too flat chested, and he would tell me that I was too skinny, and he would tell me that no man would ever want me as long as I continued to have the bad attitude. And I just really want to stress that I was not a woman yet. I think when these speeches started, I may not have even had my first period yet. But my dad, being from a long line of pedophilic men, definitely sexualized me from the very start and believed that my entire worth hinged on what men thought of me sexually. So now today as an adult, I think one of the most difficult boundaries that I have is if a man flirts with me or comes on to me, to have very pristine boundaries around that, to know what my worth is. I can go back into a place of feeling like my survival depends on somehow or another playing along, even though I'm not the least bit interested. And I have to go in and work with the younger parts of myself that are still back in my father's home, still thinking that somehow or another, if I don't smile when he touches me inappropriately, if I don't laugh when he tells a sexual joke at my expense, that I am going to pay a steep price for it. And in my dad's case, he was a rageful man, violent towards my mom, violent towards animals, wasn't in general violent towards my sister and I. But we got the hint watching how he treated animals and our mother. So you didn't want to cross him. And he was scary in that sense. You know, he had another side too. He could be charming and he could be loving. I think my dad was mentally ill and had a split personality. There's a lot more I could say about my dad, but what I really am wanting to share here is just what it did to me. So that I ended up feeling like I had to flirt when I got a job, that I had to flirt when I was in college, that somehow or another being sexually available, even when I wasn't, was the only way to function. Unlearning that takes a lot of compassion and patience with my parts. I have to go in and see, oh yeah, they are in survival mode now. They are feeling like their well-being is threatened, so they're pulling out an old pattern. And that comes up sometimes in dealing with people that I'm paying to work for me. And I can still feel like if they happen to be male and they become sexually inappropriate, that somehow or another I can't be as blunt as I want to be, as decisive as I want to be, that I have to soften that somehow. Now, my mother did a number on me too with the whole, you don't want to emasculate men and, let them down easy and all this stuff. And the whole culture did. And no doubt you grew up in various different generations. I know my subscribers span anywhere from 30 to 70. So I don't know exactly where you were in that and what the dominant paradigm was. I know for those of us born in the 60s, the messaging was really heavy, that somehow or another our very life depended on pleasing men. And gradually it becomes very rebellious and we start to free ourselves. But the rebellion doesn't fix the trauma. The defiance doesn't fix the trauma. I have been all over everything you can imagine. Fox News, CNN, Bill Maher's Politically Incorrect. Lots of television shows for 20 years, actually. Defiant, angry, outspoken, trying to shift paradigms. announcing myself as a feminist, very actively so. And the trauma still survives in these little pockets. And it's one of those things where I have to remain curious. There it is again. That pattern that my father inculcated into me. There it is again. I thought it was gone, but it's come back. And to just notice that with a lot of curiosity and compassion so that I don't end up shaming myself. Why should I? I survived a really horrible situation in my childhood. And it's very possible that you did too. And so I just want to say, don't be too hard on yourself if at times you find yourself doing something that's really different from your value system and what you know you are worth. One case in point, this happens a lot with some women. They've reached this place of professional excellence. They're powerful in the workplace, and they come home, and all of a sudden they find themselves giving up space in relationship to their husband. And it's not that uncommon for extremely powerful, successful women to be domestic violence victims at home. I know it's difficult sometimes for us to wrap our mind around that. But once you start to understand the traumatized parts and how they get triggered into doing old behaviors in order to survive or stay safe, even when it's not logical, even when maybe there is no survival or safety at risk, but that part of us thinks there is. So this is just a little bit of how you work with internal family systems to heal this trauma. And again, I'm going to keep bringing to you this idea of curiosity and compassion. I have been on this healing journey for 40 years. It has gotten way better, much easier, and I'm here to tell you there are still layers that I get to work with. I still have times when I revert to old patterns, and I love myself. It's okay. And I want to share that with you. If you find there are ways in which you're like, I can't believe that I gave up space. I can't believe I couldn't find my voice. It's okay. It's all right. You've noticed it. And that is the beginning of change right there. And it takes what it takes. And sometimes it takes us years to move these patterns. And that's all right. I can't wait to hear how it is for you today, how it was for you when you first started noticing that you wanted to heal some of these patterns, wherever you are in your journey. Could have been yesterday, could have been 20, 30 years ago. Doesn't matter. Just to whatever degree you're willing and feel safe to share. I look forward to hearing how it is for you about having healthy boundaries when you are a trauma survivor. And if you would do me a favor, like this video, share it with a friend that you think could benefit from it, and subscribe to my channel. Then we'll get this out there for more and more people so that we can form a healing community as survivors. Thanks.